Hey, today's April 9th, Friday, and I'm going to be going over the one trade I took, which was on Facebook. I only took this one trade today because this was the only clean setup I saw, and yeah, this video is going to be a little bit short. As always, start from the daily time frame. Wait a sec. No, sorry, I traded Microsoft, not Facebook. Microsoft and Facebook have been very similar lately, so yeah. But yeah, I took one trade today that was on Microsoft. As always, start with the daily time frame. I mean, look at this action on Microsoft. Straight green candles up. We moved from a low of 230 to 255 in a week, which is just unbelievable for a stock like Microsoft. Broke all-time highs, held it, holding value nicely, moving higher, gapping up. No reason to short, no supply. All we have is demand zones, no resistance, just upside pressure. No reason to short until we form some sort of supply zones or key levels of resistance. But as always, let's go down to an intraday time frame. I wanna do something on ES quickly. I removed some of these zones, but I need to draw them up for the purpose of the video. So this was at 1 hour. Yeah, so I removed these from my chart when they moved through, but for the purpose of the video, I'm just gonna include them again. Then on NQ is a 45-minute supply zone. It was very clean as well. Okay, so let me go down to intraday for both ES and NQ. So usually what I do is I look for stocks with relative strength and weakness. That's my go-to way of trading, but today was a little bit different. What I saw actually was Microsoft opening up in demand. It was opening up in 1 hour demand. Uh, as you can see, Microsoft didn't really have any clear signs of relative strength. But what caught my eye was these long wicks, uh, long wicks in demand, followed by these higher lows. So each of these lows, 930, 935, 940, were all higher, which is a bullish indication. On top of that, uh, we didn't have the best volume, but I mean Microsoft has been on a tear lately. Uh, any demand zones they have higher probabilities of working out because we are in an uptrend for Microsoft. As always, as I said, in this market there aren't any key levels of resistance, but what we do have are these mini key levels. And I identified one really quickly. It was 253.5. You can see that on Thursday at 9:35 we came up, we rejected. We broke through this level, held it as support, came down, held as resistance, and then you can see that yesterday we tried breaking through 935 multiple times, but we just failed. We couldn't get past it. Buyers weren't willing to move Microsoft above 253.5 yesterday because the market was super choppy and there was no clear direction. But today you can clearly see that we break 253.5, come back and retest it, break all-time highs and continue higher. Just like that. Uh, those were my main confirmations. A break of this 253.5 key level, which was acting as resistance, uh, a move higher from this demand zone, along with lower highs or higher lows, which is a bullish indication. The market was in the So that also gave me more conviction to enter. Uh, I'm not gonna lie though, I did get a little bit lucky with this trade. Uh, I kind of went against one of my rules, not because I meant to, but because I saw this move on Microsoft from demand was so fast that I really only had like 30 seconds to formulate a plan and execute. So that's why I missed this 1 hour supply on ES. You can see that at 9:40, we're coming into supply, and in hindsight, yes, we didn't reject at all. It was straight green candles through supply. But unless that I clearly know that we are basing in supply, I am not willing to take the stock long. As Dylan talked about today, he didn't execute any trades because NQ and ES were in supply, and that's one of his rules. I have a similar rule, just a little bit changed version of it, adapted to this market is if we're basing in supply, then I'm willing to take calls, but given this amount of data, I don't know if we're basing or not. So, in hindsight, even though I did make more money today, I shouldn't have entered at this 940 candle. What I should have done is I should have waited for this break and retest of this key level, now holding as support, and clear signs that ES is now basing in supply. So a better entry in hindsight would have been somewhere around here. This 5 minute R, a rally, base, and rally. We immediately moved higher. I didn't take profits here because I felt like it was too soon. We came back. I was completely fine. I was down in the position at one point. I really did not care. I knew my stop was a close below this 253.5 key level. If we had a 5 minute close below this, I would have gladly accepted the loss, took $30 and called it a day. But I had strong conviction that this level would now hold as support. So, I mean, my plan worked out flawlessly. We held it as support. We started moving higher. And as soon as we broke all time highs here, I took my first contract off. Keep in mind that I was playing next week expiration, so I was able to hold through some period of consolidation. If I was playing a same day expiration, then I would have probably taken my entire position off at 9:45. But because I was playing next week expiration, I was a lot more comfortable holding my contracts because I knew time decay wasn't against me, and based off of this action, we're trending straight up. Finally, I decide to take my second position off. I know it wasn't up here. It was somewhere around. It was. Oh, okay. It was right here. And the reason why I exited here is because, uh, if you can see on ES, uh, this didn't really look like a pullback. We missed supply by a couple of points, but it looked like we were coming down heavy. These were thick bodied red candles, bearish indication. You can see these long upper wicks on NQ as well in supply, which given this amount of data, it kind of look not kind of, it looks like we're bearish. So I decided to just play it safe, take off my final position here at 10:20. So I mean, yeah, it was I made like $63 on next week expirations, which honestly isn't a lot, but I mean that's just how trading goes. You're not gonna make money every day. You need a plan, you need to stick to it. You can't expect to make thousands of dollars every day because uh if it was that easy, then I mean everybody would be doing it. So I mean I'm very happy with my trading today. I was able to uh I was able to find an opportunity, take advantage of it, uh, even though market conditions weren't the best to trade in today. So I did take another trade on Microsoft, which I'm not really proud of. I sized down to one contract because I wasn't super confident. In hindsight, I'm probably just going to let these trades. I'm gonna avoid these trades just because there's no reason for me to take trades like these, especially with a smaller count. But what I did see is this nice 30-minute rally base. This wasn't a basing candle, really. I mean, it had a long upper wick, but this wasn't the basing candle I'd want to see. You go down to a 5 minute time frame. we got this nice push up here, so I thought that okay, this consolidation period, this rejection from supply right here, would just be a pullback for a move higher. But I mean, I really didn't have much confirmations going into this trade. We had a 30-minute RBR. We had relative strength at this point, but I mean, I didn't know if we were gonna base in supply or not, so I was kind of guessing myself, and I mean, I paid the price. I only lost $11 because I sized down to one contract. So I mean, it's just a learning lesson. This first trade I took was a high probability trade. Stick to trades like these. Avoid trades like these unless the video here. I stopped trading after 10:30. So I just to clarify, I entered somewhere around here and I exited as soon as we closed red for like an $11 loss, which is fine profit wise, but I mean execution wise there was absolutely no reason for me to take this trade. But I mean, green is green. This week was good. Grew the account 10%. Slow and steady will always win the race, and I mean we will go from here on Monday.